Today, we visited the distillery called El Fogonero. It is not one of those famous ones, but one of the lower-key, small, and silent distilleries. They actually produce tequila for many brands you might not even have heard about. The opportunity arose when I reached out to an old acquaintance of mine, Antonio, whom I visited in his distillery, La Alborada. Sadly, he had to leave the distillery as after the death of his father, there were ownership issues. However, he does not hold grudges. He moved on and built an inventory of tequila in a brand new location. So El Fogonero is located in the town of Amatitán. It is a short 10 minutes distance from the town of Tequila. Many consider this the birthplace of the spirit. We picked up Antonio from his tequila residence and we went straight to see the distillery. The distillery is located within the town of Amatitán. Unlike many larger distilleries, this was one of the humble but very much well maintained and had this very small distillery atmosphere to it. They had the usual equipment as many distilleries do from the region: autoclave, a small two-step roller mill for the agave extraction, stainless steel fermentation tanks, and stainless steel pot stills for distillation. We spent some quality time, particularly at the aging room, which was very refreshing on this hot April day. Antonio showed us that he has a special stock of aged tequilas that qualifies extra añejo, some 5 years old. These barrels were all filled in with tequila already made at the new distillery. We went to see some of his tequila that he produced as Blanco, taking advantage of the low agave prices, and he keeps it sealed for the years to come when the price may go up. This is a very common thing to see these days. Many other agave farmers use this technique to conserve the value of the agave. We were also able to meet the owner briefly for introduction and a quick photo. Antonio was kind enough to introduce us and explain a little bit about their history and how he found a new home for his tequila. Then after wrapping things up, we went back to visit his tequila castle. As we entered, we found ourselves in a big, beautiful estate. He told us he inherited it from his father. It is both enormous and imposing. You can see the valley and the mountain range from here, a great place to chill and relax. He also has some agaves planted as part of the estate. He told us that instead of the industrial bug repellent, he uses cinnamon with a special mix of the neutralized vinaça to keep the bugs away. He even adds organic fruit waste into the mix, keeping it all natural. And we heard another interesting thing. He doesn't only keep the dogs for fun, but he uses his dogs to keep other animals away from the agave plants. He explained that it's a natural defense system. They pee on the ground, marking their territory so that other animals would not dare come nearby. What a great idea. Then we got to see the inside of the castle part. From the outside, don't expect a castle. It's not Scotland, okay? It's not a literal castle. But the inside, they put a lot of effort to truly resemble some kind of medieval-ish castle, of course, with a bit of a Mexican style, lots of colors, Mexican ancestors on the wall. It was very stylish. He also keeps a few distillation parts inside. He plans on potentially bringing tourists or perhaps Airbnb hotel-style guests in the future who can take a look at these and spend some quality time tasting. And now to the tasting. However, even before the tasting, we saw the super unique little agave-based cookies we saw for sale at the Cuervo gift shop. I remember years ago, it was at Antonio's old distillery where I tried these first, and apparently he improved the recipe. These were even more delicious than I remember them to be. If you happen to find these, I truly recommend them. Antonio told me Cuervo is planning on bringing these also to the trains. It was also good to see such a local success. I hope these cookies will become even more accessible in the future, even outside of the local region, made by a small family business. And so now, really, we're gonna get to the tequilas first. Antonio proudly showed us their special design only made for the FIFA World Cup that takes place in Guadalajara, Mexico this year. Then I tried the Blanco. It reminded me of the Montes Brothers tequila from Las Americas, Don Abraham. It had the tequila valley earthy, but also anisey and mineral touch. I really enjoyed it. Then he poured me from the Extra Añejo, his personal favorite, and it was a solid Extra Añejo. It reminded me a bit of Cascauin's Extra Añejo, the newer one we tried a few days before, actually one day before. This is a soft, lighter, gentle expression. What I was surprised by is that I tried and quite enjoyed Antonio's Rosa tequila. He only ages it in extra wine barrels for a tiny bit to get that nice touch of pink color, and to me it makes it quite the right spot. I can see women approaching it. It has a somewhat lighter body, yet bright floral feel to it. And we had the pleasure to be one of the first to try these tequilas. As Antonio explained, these were prototypes, so they are not yet published fully on the market. We had another distillery visit, so we had to leave, but we promised we would return and spend more quality time there. So would I recommend Casa Morin, Antonio's Castle, and El Fogonero? Yes, I definitely would. Now, the experience is not yet ready for people to embark on yet, but once it is ready, I'm sure it will be a great addition to the region. We had a great time, and this is kind of the more of the authentic side of the experience, similar to Atanasio. So if you had a great time there, you will probably appreciate the personal touch with this experience too as well. Cheers.